Hey everyone, so I'm back again with another video. This time around I have some 6th gen video games to show you guys. I got these over the last week or so. It's been kind of slow at the thrift stores, but also I just haven't been buying as much. And in fact, one of these games I actually bought from a used game store, and I'll start out with that one there. I went to Game Mania. I go there every so often. It's here in the city of Toronto. They have a lot of import games, which is a fun sight to see, and the prices aren't ridiculous either. So it's always fun to go there, and you most likely will find something that will draw your attention and make you want to buy it. This time around, I saw a Dreamcast game that I didn't already have. Since I'm going for a Dreamcast, complete Dreamcast collection, I thought, why not get this, add this to the collection? Especially considering that it's a game that I do enjoy playing. I have played this game in the arcade many years ago, and I have another game in the series for the Dreamcast, but it is a typing game. And for those of you that might have already figured it out, um, well, it's House of the Dead 2. I was surprised I didn't have this already. I could have sworn that I had it if I even had the Japanese version of it. This one here is the North American version, as you can tell by, well, the rating right there, the ESRB rating. Um, but yeah, it's a sort of arcade. Well, it's an arcade shooter, and it's pretty funny in my opinion. And you're basically killing zombies and other nightmare monsters. Yep, it's a pretty fun game. So I went ahead and grabbed that. It was only $15, so it wasn't the best deal, but it also wasn't terribly overpriced. Next up, I went to this thrift store that's pretty close by. It's a small one, and I go there every so often because I don't always find stuff there, but I find stuff there every so often. And they do a lot of 50% off sales. This day, though, it wasn't a 50% off sale, but they were $3 each for these games. They charged only $2.99 for their PS2 and original Xbox games. I found these two games. The first one here is Kengo Master of Bushido, and it's basically a fighting game where you play as characters that wield swords. Um, it's pretty interesting. It's not, by any stretch of the imagination, an amazing fighting game, but it's a fighting game nonetheless, and I do like myself some fighting games. The other game that I got for $2.99 is a well, it was originally a PSP game, but then it was ported to the PS2 pretty late as well. It was ported after the PS3 had already been released. It's Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Well, lots of PSP games in the mid to late 2000s were ported to the PS2 as well. I believe a Metal Gear Solid game, not Shadow, Siphon Filter, and I think a couple of the Tom Clancy games were all ported from the PSP to the PS2. But yeah, this one here is, well, I thought it was complete at first, but it's actually the French manual inside. For those of you that don't know, in Canada we get English and French manuals with games, so um, it's kind of complete, but not really. But for $3, I couldn't really complain. Now, at the Value Village a couple days ago, I found this one game. It's a game that I already had, but this one was in much better condition, and it had the manual inside. So I went ahead and picked it up. It's Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PS2. And I thought to myself, of course it had to be the PS2 version that I find and not the original Xbox version, which costs 4 times as much. I have no idea why it cost that much more. Maybe there was less of them produced, so they're harder to find. If you do know why the original Xbox version goes for more, please let me know. Uh, but yeah, I got this, and it was just $3.99, and it was in much better condition than my copy. And I went ahead and traded in my copy for I think like $10 in credit. So that was, sorry about that. That was a bonus for me. But then I went to the Value Village today. Didn't find anything. Well, I did find a lot of games, but they were all either sports PS2 games, or a lot of Harry Potter and Guitar Hero games. Like, there were a lot of Harry Potter games there, a lot more than there usually are. But I looked through them all, and there wasn't really anything. I did find one 360 game, but that will be in another video. But I gave up. There was also an NES there with Super Mario Bros. 3, just slotted inside it. But they wanted $20 for that, and I really couldn't do much with that. If I wanted to trade it in right away, I could only get $30 for the whole set. And it wasn't really worth the hassle to pay $20 plus tax to then go take it in and just get an extra $7 out of it. But I gave up at the Value Village, and I ended up going to the Salvation Army that's just about a block away from there. Actually, it's about 2 blocks away from there. And I found, well, what I found first is that they brought in a whole stack of original Xbox consoles, PS1s, and, sorry, it's the first model PlayStation, not the PS1, like the Slimline. But they had a whole bunch of consoles, and I just assumed that there would be some games around. I looked through all the CDs, did not find a single PS1 game, but then I went and looked closer to the old stack of games that was behind the counter, and it turned out that there were a whole bunch of original Xbox games there. So I went ahead and looked through them all, and of course, I had to find this one game in here. I ended up getting 2 games, but I was really surprised that I found this one game, especially after I just got that there. But the first game that I want to show you guys here is Evil Dead: A Fistful of Boomstick. And just a little while ago, I got Evil Dead: Hail to the King. I believe it's called Hail to the King, for the Dreamcast. So there's 2 Evil Dead games out of the way. I'm honestly not sure if there are any more Evil Dead games. If you do know if there are more, please let me know in the comment section. But I got these 2 games that I got, these 2 original Xbox games, I got them for $2.99 each, and Salvation Army doesn't do tax on anything they sell there, so it was just $5.98 or $6 even, because there's no more pennies, but all of you know that already. But the second game that I got, of course, because I mentioned this one here, I found the Xbox version of it as well. And this was actually in a completely destroyed case. It had like brown sludge all over it, and it had chunks of the plastic actually missing. But the insert inside was pretty fine, except for this gigantic sticker on the back of it. I'm going to have to try to get that off eventually, but I just couldn't bother with it right now. I cleaned down this other case. I pretty much took the game out of another case, and I put this one inside of it. And it was complete and in pretty decent condition as well. Like, it has very few minor scratches. Not that you can really tell, but it has very few minor scratches on it. And I was surprised to find it. And of course, I find this right as I get another copy of the PS2 version. Anyways, that's all I got. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Also, check out my 300 subscribers contest. The video is linked in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, website, they're all linked in the description below as well. And that's it. See ya.